ओम श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः। हरिः ओम। सुमुखश्च एकदन्तश्च कपिलो गजकर्णकः लंबोदरश्च विकटो विघ्नराजो विनायकः धूमकेतुर्गणाध्यक्षः फालचन्द्रो गजाननः वक्रतुण्डः सूर्पकर्णो हेरम्बः स्कन्दपूर्वजः शुक्लाम्बरधरं विष्णुं शशिवर्णं चतुर्भुजं प्रसन्नवदनं ध्यायेत् सर्वविघ्नोपशान्तये। यस्य द्विरदवक्त्राभ्यां पारिषद्भ्यां परस्सतं विघ्नं निघ्नन्ति सततं विश्वक्सेनं तमाश्रये। गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णुः गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरुर्साक्षात् परं ब्रह्म तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। सच्चिदानन्दरूपाय कृष्णाय अक्लिष्टकारिणे नमो वेदान्तवेद्याय गुरवे बुद्धिसाक्षिणे कृष्णद्वैपायनं व्यासं सर्वभूतहिते रतं वेदाभ्यभास्करं वन्दे समाधिनिलयं मुनिं जन्माद्यस्य यतः अन्वयात् इतरतश्च अर्थेषु अभिघ्नः स्वराट् तेरे ब्रह्महृदायः आदिकवये मुह्यन्ति यत् सूरयः तेजो वारिमृगां यथा विनिमयः यत्र त्रिसर्गो मृषा धाम्ना स्वेन सदा निरस्तकुहकं सत्यं परं धीमहि धर्मः प्रोच्युतकैतवोऽत्र परमो निर्मत्सराणां सताम् वेद्यं वास्तवम् अत्र वस्तु शिवदं तापत्रयोन्मूलनम् श्रीमद्भागवते महामुनिकृते किं वा परैरीश्वरः सद्यो हृदि अवरुध्यतेः अत्र कृतिभिः शुश्रूषुभिः तत्क्षणात् निगमकल्पतरोर्गलितं फलं सुखमुखात् अमृतद्रवसंयुतम् पिबत भागवतं रसमालयं मुहुरहो रसिकाः भुवि भावुकाः नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयम् उदीरयेत्. Now with Bhagavan's grace, let us continue from where we left off. We took Slokam 44 in Adhyayam 28 in Skandham number 3. Tasmat imam swam prakritim daivim sadasat atmikam Vibhavyam parabhavya sarupena avatishtate. So the final sahajyam that Kapila Bhagavan is saying is, this is what happens. And we also took up a couple of slokams from Bhagavad Gita, Srimad Bhagavad Gita, Slokam 71 and 72, Adhyayam 2, Sankhya Yogam. We saw that. Sutta Prajna, what happens to him? Brahmi Sitihi, Yesha Brahmi Sitihi, Partha. This is the case. Brahmi Sitihi, very important. Established in Brahman. Okay? Brahmi Sitihi, established in Brahman. Aham Brahmasmi. That's what is described. Then we also took up Slokam 1154, which is the Vishwarupa Darshana Yogam, and Slokam number 54. Now, 54 is the penultimate Slokam in that particular Adhyayam 11, Vishwarupa Darshana Yogam. Very interestingly, very important to know that how all these, Bhagavan is teaching the same thing in a beautiful way. I mean, it's all congruent. After blessing Arjuna with Visvarupa Darsanam, where he gives him the vision to see the oneness in everything, effulgence. Then the slokam comes after that. Okay, towards the end, after the Visvarupa Darsanam is given, the same way the yogi also gets a Visvarupa Darsanam and follow the sadhana path. Then at the end of this, the slokam is most appropriate, because this so-called pseudo-scholarly, I would say, philosophical discussions and discourses and arguments and debates on Dvaitam, Advaitam, Visishtaadvaitam, they're all actually irrelevant. They become really, truly irrelevant. Bhagavan can be experienced in different ways. If I get a taste of Bhagavan's love, that is my taste. I cannot proclaim that is the only taste of Bhagavan, right? I cannot do that, because everybody enjoys, Bhagavan enjoys, gives them the bliss of his own taste in different ways. So, whether I call it Dvaitam, depending upon my own spiritual progress, or Visishtaadvaitam, which is again based upon my own spiritual progress and my intellectual rationale behind it, or Advaitam, okay, whatever it could be, that point is irrelevant. But what is relevant is the progress of how the sadhana path is moving on, which is Prajnatum, Drashtum cha, Tatvenam, Tatvena, Pravesishtum cha, Parantapa. Parantapa means one who destroys all the enemies. The enemies are all internal enemies only, not only necessarily in army field and all that, but basically Kamam, Krodham, Moham, Madam, Lobham, Matsaryam. Those are the six enemies that one who has conquered, that Parantapa. Not only conquered, but also pulverized them, eliminated them. Now, one more point before we move on. The Parantapa is very important, because that is what in Adhyayam 2 Sankhya Yogam, Bhagavan says, one who has got no desires, one who conquers, has come to a place where there is no desire, is actually a Parantapa, because all the other things arise from desire only. Krodham, Moham, Lobham, Madam, Matsaryam, all these come only from desire. Please always remember that. That's also explained and taught to us in Sankhya Yogam in Srimad Bhagavatam. I believe it is 262, 263 probably. Okay, Slokam number. Anyway, that's okay. Let's move on. So here, after the Visvarupa Darsanam is given, how does this soil change? So far, bhakti and all is there, and then Bhagavan continues. Bhaktya tu ananyaya sathya ahamevam vidaha arjuna. Two, certainly, ananya bhaktya, only a devotion, a love to Bhagavan that has nothing else in it. And not only that, there is no desire, there is no barter, there is no contract, you do this, I do this for you, none of those things. Not only that, only Bhagavan I am loving, nothing else. And not only that, Ananya also means loving Bhagavan without feeling that he is separate from me and I am separate from him. That thought process of putting Bhagavan separate from me is a major problem. Okay, fundamental root cause of all our ahamkaram and everything else. So Ananya Bhakti simply means without even having that feeling of separation, that I'm worshipping somebody, I'm worshipping Narayana, so I am a Bhakta, he is Bhagavan. That feeling is Ananya, the feeling without even separating Bhagavan from oneself. So total devotion to him without anything else, without attaching to anything else, that is one. And second is also without considering, feeling Bhagavan as separate from oneself. Ananya Bhakti, only, okay, that's very important, Sathya, Sathya means the ability, armed with that. Only through that, okay, that gives you the ability, the capability, the capacity, so to speak. Okay, aham evam vidaha. Aham evam vidaha. Evam, this way. What way? That has been Visvarupa Darshanam. Bhagavan is one in everything. That vidaha, that can be known. It can be known. Hey Arjuna, only with that ananya bhakti, okay, can this be known. Okay, aham vidaha. Yeva aham vidaha. Two, certainly, only with, okay, Arjuna, only through ananya bhakti, this can be known. Then, once it is known, jnatum, then you see the next line, jnatum, once knowing that, then drashtum cha. We saw that we covered that, tasting the infinite, indescribable prema, right? The bliss and the anandam and the sweetness of it, that love, Bhagavan, selfless love, that is jnatum. Then I know, oh my God, this is what it is. I have a personal knowledge. I'm reveling in that. Then I see drashtum, that the same prema that is within me is with everything else. And every other thing is also within me only. That Vasudevaha sarvam iti, that is drashtum. After that, tattvena, then if tattvena means in truth, what exactly happens after this, following this, okay? Without fail, Bhagavan has assured. Once you come here, there is no going back. Okay, it's a very important assurance in Bhagavan, okay? Then, so truthfully speaking, which means what is the next step that takes place by itself after drashtum, after Vasudevaha sarvam iti, that feeling comes that Vasudeva, the same oneness in everything, then praveshtum cha, and praveshtum, you merge in that. Even that feeling of separation is disappears. And that is what Slokam 44 in Srimad Bhagavatam, that we talked about, tasmat imam swam prakritim daivim satasat atmikam vibhavyam parabhavya sarupena avatistate. We covered the padarthagal yesterday, so I'm not going to go repeat it. But the sarupena avatistate, that is praveshtam. Okay? That sarupam, same one's own self, becomes established in that. That is Brahmi Sthitihi. So that is Kapila Bhagavan teaching. And now, Bhaktya, Ananya Bhaktya is the requirement. Okay? Very important. The Yamam, Niyamam, the self-control, the mind control, the Pranayamam, the Asanam, postures, okay, Pratyaharam, withdrawing the mind from attachment to the external object, thinking and focusing and concentrating on Bhagavan, the Dharanam, and doing it for a very long time where it becomes Dhyanam itself, where Dhyanam is a place where the meditator, the object meditated upon, and the process of meditation, all those three lose their differences. There's no individual separation of the three. Those differences vanish. The meditator, the process of meditation, and the object on which we're being meditated upon. Those three, they are not different anymore. Even the difference goes away. That is dhyana. And then from there, for a long means, the time limit is the total, everything put together is about 22 minutes, like what happened to Ramana Maharishi. And that is also given the time for each one. But once that time is fulfilled, automatically the dhyanam, the jnanam, which is the immersion in the prema, selfless love, right? where there are no mind, no senses, no buddhi, okay? But the feeling of separation is still there, okay? The ahamkaram is still there, but no desires, nothing. Then one is immersed in that prema. Then one realizes, one knows that he is actually immersed in that prema. It's all around him, inside him, outside him. And that is what is all the things in creation are all immersed only in that. They're all there. Both Bhagavan, same selfless love, inside, outside, everywhere, on all objects. That is Mahadeva Sarvamiti. That experience comes. Then that segues into final merging. That is Svarupena Avatishtate. So that brings us to the conclusion of this wonderful, no way to describe this, not wonderful, but it is, it's a nectarine. That's the way I can say it. It's an Amritam teaching of Kapila Bhagavan, which is also same thing in Bhagavad Gita too. So now next question comes, and also next Adhyayam, Kapila Bhagavan is also now going to, because he's going to ask questions, and he's going to talk about devotion, bhakti, okay? And going back to Bhagavad Gita again, so that the point is understood, the next slokam that comes, 1155, in the Sarvata Darsana Yogam. The next slokam, which is the last slokam in that Adhyayam, is Mat Karmakrit, Mat Paramo, Mat Bhaktaha, Sangha Varjitaha, Nirvairaha Sarvabhuteshu, Saha, Yaha Saha, Mameti, Pandra. Mameti, that means he merges in me. The difference is gone. Who? So Bhavanya Bhakti, how can it happen? Mat Karmakrit, Mat Paramo, Mat Bhaktaha, Sangha Varjitaha, Nirvairaha Sarvabhuteshu. 5 things are given here. Mat Karmakrit, all actions that come your way are my actions only. First, we have to understand that. It is not like I'm going to an office getting a paycheck. No. It is Bhagavan's work that has been given to me. When I sweep a floor, it is not I'm sweeping a floor. No, it is Bhagavan's work. There is no difference between doing a puja and doing a ashtotram and all the yajnam and all the other things we do and the other actions we do. Every single action, mat karma, they are all mine only. First, you must understand that. So, I must do them as his agent. He has given that job to me, so I must do it as his agent to carry out, like the way Hanuman did that job. I must carry it out. I must carry it out to the best of my ability. No complaints, nothing at all. Because next moment, that work can be taken away from me. It can happen. How does it happen? I may go into a coma, or I may break my leg, or so many things can happen where the normal things I was always complaining about, I won't be able to do. Okay? It is better to realize it before such things happen. Okay? And we see so many people around who are not able to walk, who are not able to do puja, who don't understand things, not able to digest properly, or even do the cooking, whatever normal things we take for granted. There are many people who are not able to do that. So, understand, very important practical teaching, every single piece of work is Bhagavan's work. That comes my way, I should not go and seek something else that is not come my way. Whatever comes my way is given by Bhagavan. Do it as his agent to please him, to please the master. And how to do it? Do it to the best of my ability. Very important, because that is the yogaha karmasu kausalam. That is, I've given you ability, I've given you your buddhi, I've given you your mind, intelligence, I've given you opportunity, I've given you strength. Do it. To whatever I can, sincerely and truthfully. And mat paramo, that is what considering him as supreme, as worship to him I must do, as his agent, as a servant. Okay? Very important. Very, very important mental attitude. Very important. Then I must also do it, mat bhaktaha. Do it dedicated to me, devoted to me. Don't complain. For heaven's sake, don't complain. Don't take pride in what you do. And don't also complain. Okay? Do it as dedication to me, dedicated, be devoted, loving it. Swami, I'm grateful to you. I'm very happy I'm doing this. Okay, please accept this. Okay? Whatever. Sangha varjitaha means giving up the desire for the result. Sangha means junction. Every action is, the junction is the result. So varjitaha, completely giving it up. That means not bothered, not concerned with what the result is going to be. That mindset is what he's talking about. To develop the ananya bhakti. That simple action, this alone, then sarvabhuteshu nirvairaha. All beings know enmity, without any enmity towards everybody. This person who does is like this, yaha. Who does like this? Taha, he, mameti, he comes to me only. He comes and merges in me. This simple action is what the starting point of Ananya Bhakti is. This is further explained in Adhyayam 12, which is Bhakti Yogam, which I believe we have covered in this group. I'm not sure. I know we have covered it a few times. But in the last slokam in Adhyayam 12, if you see, slokam number 20, Yetu dharmyamrutam yataha ukta parvipahate. This teaching, and that Yetu dharma is what we talk about karma palatyagam. Okay, sangha varjitaha. Okay. That karma palatyagam, one who, that is, we call it a dharmam and also amrutam. Why it's amrutam? Because that mental attitude of really developing the ability to not worry about the result. Seriously. Okay, you're all trained the wrong way. Do the work. Focus on the work and how I do it as worship and dedication with tremendous love and devotion to God. That's all. That, not worry about the result. The result will take care of itself. I may get the result I like, I may get the result I may not like. Sooner or later, I will come to a stage where the result really doesn't bother me. Okay, there's no like or dislike. It happens. That dharmyamrutam, one who practices that, a Pandava, he says, he is the dearest to me. Ativa priyaha, me ativa priyaha. He is exceedingly dear to me, is what he says. So it's a karma palatyagam is a starting point, and that lead to sayujyam itself, the final merger with Bhagavan. Now, so this is followed in Bhagavad Gita, Visuddhapadarsanam Yogam, followed with Bhakti Yogam. Okay, Bhagavan now talks about, elaborates about Bhakti, so that people are not confused. Okay, it should not, Bhakti is such a often used word. Swami says, when you accept everything that happens to you as Bhagavan's prasadam and gift and blessing without a murmur of complaint, that is bhakti. Do what you will with me. That mentality must come. So so here it followed the Bhakti Yogam, and then in Bhagavatam also, after describing the sadhana path, the Sankhya Yogam, and the Dhyana Yogam that comes in Bhagavad Gita in Adhyayam 6, Kapila Bhagavan also talks about the Dhyana Yogam, which is Yamam, Niyamam, etc., right? And then finally, it comes to, after this, he follows that with Bhakti Yogam only. Next Adhyayam in 29 in Srimad Bhagavatam is about Bhakti, the path of love to God, path of devotion. So now, very quick review on what has happened. A little bit of this, so that covered so much material. Each one is important. Each one is highly important. And hearing alone, once alone is not enough. And twice alone not enough. One needs to reflect, sit calmly, and take one point and reflect on it. what does this mean? What is it? What is this? They have questions. Bhagavan will answer from within. Once the clarity comes in, and then life will become a little bit easier and easier and easier. So in this particular teaching that prompted what the blessing that you and I have received to listen to this nectarine teaching from none other than Bhagavan himself, the same way Bhagavad Gita is. Okay? It is from the Kshetrajna himself is speaking in a language that I can understand with my senses and mind. Okay? So that I can go beyond it. So the question that prompted is very similar to the question that prompted Arjuna to ask Krishna, and Krishna started teaching. Okay? Sishyastegam sadimam swam prapannam is what Arjuna says in Adhyayam 2 in Sankhya Yoga, it's called. Devavati says exactly the same thing. Swami, I surrender to you. She says, please teach me. Is where it began. And you tell me, please enlighten me and what this Purusha and Prakriti and all is. Then Bhagavan replies to her. This is what we have covered in the past 2 or 3, 4 adhyayams. Okay? So, then Bhagavan says, yes, I will tell you about the spiritual path that leads to realization itself. Then he gives a basic point. Mind is a cause of bondage and liberation. Same thing Bhagavan teaches in Sankhya Yogam also, in Bhagavad Gita. Then the Kapila Bhagavan says here, there is no path that is more straight, safe. There's no path that is more straight or more safe or more practical than that of loving devotion to Bhagavan. That is what he says. It's an answer to Devavati's question. Then Devavati says, Swami, then what is the nature of this devotion that we're talking about? It is so important. And what type of devotional practice is best suited to me? See, another question comes, which is the same question you and I have. Then Kapila Bhagavan describes the Sankhya knowledge, the Sankhya Yogam. Okay, in Adhyayam 2, Bhagavad Gita, here is this Sankhya. And then goes into because we all want to understand what this universe is, what this creation is, what this world is, Prakriti. So he goes through the different categories of creation that we talked about, that we covered. And then he says these are all only kshetras. Okay, but we focus on the kshetrajna. That's what he says. And Krishna Bhagavan says the same thing in Adhyayam 10 in Vibhuti Yogam. Why are you Vibhuti means the various manifestations of Bhagavan in this cosmos. Okay? And that is what is the various aspects of creation talked about. He says, why are you worried about this? Focus on the indweller in you. That is what you should do, Kshetra. So same thing, Kapila Bhagavan says, in the same order, in fact, it comes. And then he says, Swami, how to focus on the indweller? Now, you say it is very easy, but we are creation is inseparably tied to the Creator. Okay, I am now bound in this Maya and illusion and feeling that I am this body, mind, it is ahamkaram, mamakaram are there. How can I get out of it? Okay, same question Arjuna also asked. Yes, you say, don't have ahamkaram and mamakaram, but how to do it? Then the Dhyana Yogam comes there. Here, Bhagavan describes, Kapila Bhagavan describes the Dhyana process. And then finally, it comes into Jnatum, Drashtum cha, Satyena, Praveshtum cha, Parantapa. So finally, merging into that. So he has described. Now the next question is, he is going to elaborate on the path of Bhakti. Same thing in Adhyayam 12. In Bhagavad Gita that comes. Same beautiful how Bhagavan teaches. If you open your heart to it, you literally cry. But for a helpless person, completely moving, a blind person who's moving in thick jungle, okay, there is no pathway here and there. And if a guide comes and holds my hand and takes me through the forest, how will it be? It is exactly like that. We are all living lives like that, completely blind. don't know which way to go, what to do. So many things are happening. But the Bhagavan Guru comes, holds my hand, and then gives me these teachings. So beautiful it is. With His grace, we will partake more of it tomorrow in the next adhyayam. Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om. Samastalokaha Sukhino Bhavantu. Samastalokaha Sukhino Bhavantu. Samastalokaha Sukhino Bhavantu. Om Santet Santet Santet. Hari Om.